Mr. Speaker, the Ethics Commissioner confirmed he would reopen his investigation into the business dealings of the Liberal
Welcome
Minister
back, Dean Lloyd.
The minister is the owner of a number company that holds a 50% share in Global Health Imports, where he served as a partner before his election in 2021. This company is involved in numerous criminal offences, including fraud. Global News reported text messages from the minister's former business partner, Stephen Anderson, that show a mysterious Randy directing business operations in September of 2022. A Minister of Employment with the same name was prohibited from taking any role with the company. Now, the minister has claimed that he has no knowledge of the identity of this other Randy. However, a whistleblower has revealed that the Randy in question was a partner, a public official, and that they were, in fact, the Minister of Employment. The minister's business associates could easily put this scandal to rest by telling us the identity of this mysterious other Randy. However, they refuse to reveal his true identity. Why won't the minister tell us who this other Randy is, what's his last name, and is he in this room at this very moment?
What the fuck? Oh my God, they're pointing to him! They're pointing to him!
Order.
A new day means a new scandal for this tired Liberal government. This time it involves Liberal Employment Minister who needs to answer if he violated federal law by continuing business deals even after joining cabinet. In a conversation at his firm about contracts and cash, one of the firm's partners told someone asking for the money that a man named Randy would be available in 15 minutes for a partner's call. The Employment Minister was quick to say that the text conversation wasn't referencing him, it was someone else, the other Randy. It's a small company. He owned 50% of it. He used to be a partner. So let's see if we can find out who the other Randy is in a game of Guess Who. Is he tall? Does he wear glasses?
Is he bald?
Does he have brown hair or blonde hair or no hair?
Yeah.
Does he have federal cabinet minister? Does he come from a city that rhymes?
Oh my God!
Mr. Speaker, I think the other Randy probably has the same last name and the same job as the employment minister. So will the other Randy please stand up?
Oh my God!
For Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes.
The NDP Liberal minister from Edmonton wants Canadians to think that he's not breaking the law, but he was cashing checks from a company that was lobbying his government, and a company that he owns 50% of was winning government contracts using his name. As a minister, he's not allowed to do either. Now, in a Global News report this week, text messages reveal someone named Randy at his company was part of a $500,000 fraud. The minister said it wasn't him, it was the other Randy. Of course it was. So, who is the other Randy, and what's his last name?
Yeah. Where's Randy?
I just have to make be careful in using the proper names of individuals in the chamber. The Honourable Government House Leader.
Speaker, I, of course, just answered that question.
Is the House Speaker admitting that that's Randy there?
The Honourable Member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, Rideau Lakes.
Well, Speaker, we have the same suspicion as the Speaker does that, in fact, there is perhaps some concern about using the member's name. But, well, the government House Leader wants to hide his member. We're just going to run through a scenario here. What are the chances that the other Randy is just the minister from Edmonton in a rubber nose and a stick-on mustache? I'd say about 100%. Broke the Conflict of Interest Act, broke the Lobbying Act, broke the Criminal Code. We want to know, will the real Randy please
stand up? Holy shit! How are they literally breaking the Criminal Code of Canada and there's no repercussions?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Monsieur le Président, bien sûr que...
Mr. Speaker.
The Conservatives are chanting Randy.
That's enough. House Leader.
Oh, man.
Indeed, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for that.
This is getting good.
The dignity of this place, where we presume all members are honourable. The member in question spent an hour at committee yesterday answering questions from that member and other members. And of course, I know that the member will continue to ask those questions. I will give the same answer. We have a very strict code of conflict of interest and ethics in this country, and all ministers are expected to comply with that.
For Brentford Brant.
Mr. Speaker, the AG's report proves again this Prime Minister is not worth the cost or corruption.
The report reveals massive corruption at the Green Slush Fund, highlighting the misappropriation of $76 million through 90 cases of conflict of interest. Their directors sat at a table, awarded millions of dollars to their friends and to their own business interests. All the while, more and more Canadians are hungry and homeless. The question is simple. What plan does the minister have to get that money back?
The Honourable Minister of Innovation.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative are so allergic to good news that they go to old news, Mr. Speaker. The big news today is 4.75. That's the number that all Canadians will remember. That is the number because we have good economic news. But, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to answer the same question again. What is a responsible government? It's about lynching and inquiry. That's what we did, Mr. Speaker. And on the basis of the findings, Mr. Speaker, we suspended the funding to the organization. The CEO and the chair resigned, Mr. Speaker. And now we're proposing a new governance model, one with the National Research Council, because we want to restore funding to small and medium-sized businesses in this country, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Auditor General's report proves that this Prime Minister is not worth the cost and the corruption. Most of the government's $200 million in contracts with their friends at McKinsey broke the rules. Liberals are tight with McKinsey. The former ambassador to China and head of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Panel came from McKinsey. The policy director to the former Minister of Public Services and Procurement was also McKinsey. This government serves McKinsey consultants and scandalizes Canadians. Why did Liberals repeatedly break the rules to benefit their friends at McKinsey?
The Honourable Minister
To get rich, man.
of Service and Procurement.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. J'ai déjà répondu.
Thank you, Minister.
That's the wrong bald guy. We want Randy.
Also,
Where's Randy?
to this question. One question we haven't got an answer to is why are the Conservatives not sharing today's great economic news?
That's all they have to say.
Interest rates in the past 4 years, and the first in G7 countries, and that is not only because we have been responsible budgetarily, but because Canada in 2025, inaudible for the interpreter, investments in dental care, investments in healthcare and childcare, especially throughout Canada, and investments in home building.
For Sherwood Park, for Saskatchewan.
Mr. Speaker, it's no surprise that Liberal minister will do everything to avoid talking about even mentioning McKinsey in the response. Minister, this question is about McKinsey. This company supercharged the opioid crisis, advised totalitarian regimes, held a corporate retreat down the road from a concentration camp. This company has a vile track record, and yet Liberals have constantly turned to this company, supercharging McKinsey's profits, and Liberals have turned to McKinsey to make critical decisions about this country's future. Now that they've finally been caught by the Auditor General, will this NDP Liberal government finally ban this vile company from government contracts? Yes or no?
The Honourable Minister of Public Service and Procurement.
It may indeed be that our colleague was distracted when I spoke about the matter many times during question period. I'm happy to repeat the same answer to the same question, which is the fact that we thank the Auditor General for her report. Her report contains recommendations and views that have been understood and heard in many other reports in the previous months. We have acted on those recommendations for more than a year now. There's nothing more to add except that today is an important day for Canadians and their economy.
They don't seem to care.
Now, the first time in 4 years that there is a fall in the interest rate and the first decrease across 47 countries.